It's your boy Richie, man. Middle-aged Rich. Used to be young Rich. Let's talk about taking risks and betting on yourself. So, one of the best and worst things I ever did in my life was bet on myself. But the best outcome out of that was the fact that I don't have many regrets. One regret I do have was that I didn't join the military when I planned on it, but I ended up having a son. The girl I was with was pregnant at the time. She told me the summer when I was getting ready to enlist. And that same summer, 9/11 happened. So I guess it was just serendipity that I just didn't go into war. But, that was one of the few times I didn't just bet on myself and just do exactly what I wanted to do. I thought about everybody else around me and didn't do a certain thing. Since that lesson and some, lessons earlier in life, but that's when you're a kid, I came to the conclusion that I'm going to do what I want that makes me happy. That turned into being older and turning into I'm going to do what I have to do, and I'm going to make the best decision for me, because if I do good, everybody else will do good as well. A rising tide raises all ships. So if I'm doing well and other people in my family are doing well, when emergencies come up, we can all be each other's crutches. The risk versus reward, sometimes you win, sometimes you crap out, but at least you followed your heart, your spirit, and you put your best foot forward with that decision. You have to risk it all. Scared money don't make no money. I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of, but I can say that I made money at just about everything that I have attempted. When I had my side business, did very well there for a long time, years and years. There was a time for about 2 years where I just solely lived off music, just doing studio time and selling beats. And I was able to live off of that. I think if I had been in a bigger city at the time, that might have been that window where I actually could have got some notoriety and got some high clientele and really made a good push at the entertainment industry. But, me being in that small town of Rochester and not leaving or touring or anything, I think kind of hurt that phase of my life. I wish I was in a bigger town when I was doing that, because literally music sustained me for a long time when I was out of work. I would say that was my main source of income for about 2 years, just studio time, listening to so many talented and untalented people. Selling beats to people who I knew I wouldn't hear that beat again, and some people who I would hear on their mixtapes that would circulate the city, they had my stuff on there. Really was a great time in my life, but it wasn't the most lucrative. But I could say that I made money and lived off music and or my entrepreneurial endeavors. But each time I made a conscious decision to bet on myself. I just left a very good job at a really good dealership that were paying me a lot of money. But I bet on myself. It was some things I didn't like there. I didn't like how they treated people. I didn't like their core values. I appreciate, waking up every day and going to the church of money. But man, it just, when you weigh the scale, you got the scale there and the balance is here, and it's like, hey, we're gonna go out here, make money, be about our business, but not be, just terrible, terrible people. Or you can go out there and say, hey, I'm going to wake up every day, work the same amount of hours, maybe a little bit less, and make the same amount of money. I chose to go with the same amount of money because, man, the world is mean. And you can choose to deal with a situation or not. But no, there are certain situations I will not put myself in, being as grown as I am. I know we all going to eat a little bit of shit professionally, but man, listen. God works in mysterious ways, and the opportunity presented itself, and I left. I'm an asshole myself. I respect it, but come on, the way they were going about their business was just unprofessional in so many damn ways, and they were always okay it with just a pillowcase full of money. I can still get the pillowcase full of money, and not have to listen to the way you talk to people. Jesus, as soon as they tried that shit with me, I'm out the door. Really? That's how you feel? Bye-bye. We are not going to be doing that with me. I heard what you did to other people. I will not put up with it. So when you risk it all and bet on yourself, at least you can have the peace of mind of knowing that you tried. The worst thing is having regret, and you look at something year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 years down the line, and you wonder, man, I wonder how my life would have went and I had made this decision a little bit differently. When I came to that fork in the road, those fork in the road moments are very pivotal in your life. You figure you have one of those moments every couple months, but I mean, like, you had some major decision type stuff that happens, you know, I would say once every 3 or 4 years, that really change the direction of your life or could course correct what you're hoping you do. Like, you hope you course correct. Like, yeah, okay, that was a good decision. I did it. I bet on myself, and now I'm winning. If you bet on yourself and that doesn't happen to be the best choice, hey, you tried it. But, you know, I think I am where I'm supposed to be all the time. I think God lays out certain. It's like playing like an RPG game, a video game, or like 2K, and you're building up your jumper and you're building up your dribbling skills, but you don't quite have the defense. Or you're a slasher and you have great defense, but you really can't shoot outside of 15 feet. And then over time, you start building those attributes up. Or like a storyline in like a Skyrim or a Grand Theft Auto, you have these choices you can make, and it's like, okay, do I do this or do I do that? And you know, the end game comes out different depending on your choice. Because it's like a tree branch, so you come from a root up to the trunk, and then you have these things that branch off. You know, which part of the branch are you going? Are you going on the furthest part of the limb, or are you going to stop short because you're afraid to go any further? I will always bet on me. I hope that you always bet on you, because trust me, this world it suffers no fools. Like, if you're foolish out here and you take forever to get your life going, hey, it's whatever. My cousin had just called me, and he had a job opportunity come up for him. I'm not gonna say your name, fam, but you know, if you see this, it was a conversation we just had, and he had an opportunity to take a job in transportation, moving people around the country. And he also already booked and paid for a trip to Miami. What was that, Suns Out, Buns Out, something like that? One of those events they're having down in Miami. And he's like, cuz, you know, I'm already $1,500 invested. I don't want to waste the money. Now, he already had a setback with the job because he couldn't start when he wanted to because he was having car issues. So he has a car, is in the shop, and that set him back on money. He missed the classes to start, so they said, okay, well, we can start you the very next month. So he called me, and he was like, yeah, cuz. I was like, hey, you get the job? Because he had told me about the opportunity. He's like, nah, I didn't take it because my car wasn't ready, but they told me I could take the classes the following month, and I don't know if I'm going to do it because I have this trip to Miami already set up. I was like, my nigga, this job is going to be the most money you ever made in your professional life, and you're in your 30s. This job is going to change the trajectory of how you can take care of your family and yourself. And you want to put it off? He's like, yeah, I want to put it off a month. You know, I go into the course the month after, you know what I'm saying? The following month, they want me to start. I'm like, bro, these kind of jobs, you don't just start. It's not like you're starting at McDonald's or Burger King. You're not going to start in a week or two. You're going to go to drug screening, background test. That's got to go good before you even get the job. After that happens, they have to set up a time for you to go down out of state to go for the 1 month of training, which means, you know, you might not start this job for a month and a half, you know. So you're going to set yourself back from starting your future 8 weeks, 6 weeks. If that job is even available, because you're rolling the dice, setting it back like this, because they might have other candidates and they just don't have any openings now, versus you just doing this thing now for a trip to Miami. I said, cuz I love you. And I said, if you take that trip to Miami, at least don't start the process. You know, get your drug screening, get your background test going, you know, your fingerprints, make sure everything's good. You can start, you know, you have to start this. They gave you a time. You already took a month back. So in a job like this that doesn't have very many openings, you're gonna roll the dice and say, hey, I'm gonna start this 2 months from now because I want to go on a 4-day trip to Miami. man, fuck Miami. Go get your money, man. This job is going to allow you to pay for several trips. And that amount of money won't mean as much to you when your average income is twice what you're making now. $1,500 seems like a lot to you currently. It's not a lot to me. It's not to a lot of people because, dude, you should be grossing more at this age. And he took the advice. He's like, you know what? I'm going to start the process. And if the start date and the training and the travel starts before or during my Miami trip, you know, so be it. I'll back out the Miami trip and this be out $1,500 for my future. And I was like, dude, honestly, if you started, you might see that you have a window in between where you're able to still do the trip because you're waiting for all the background stuff to get cleared up. That stuff takes about a week or two. So you might be able to do both. You very well might be able to do both, which would be fucking great. You know what I'm saying? For you, you know what I'm saying? I want you to enjoy yourself. I mean, $1,500. I'm not going to act like it's a little bit of money. Some people don't have that right now. But, dude, if I'm choosing between $1,500 just for, 4 or 5 days of fun versus a job that's going to increase my income $30,000, sorry, man, I'm that trip, I will be able to get into the trip and I'll be able to get a nicer hotel, rent a nicer car, and go to better restaurants and go to nicer clubs. Because I'm going to make that change. I swear these people in Maryland can't drive, man. Almost got in an accident live on film. Cut in front of me and go slow and try to hit the exit. Never mind. So, yeah, so basically, you got to choose. You got to bet on yourself, man. You got to bet on yourself. And don't get sidetracked with this stuff. Don't get sidetracked with the pleasures of life. Because my stepfather always told me this. You can play now and pay later, or pay now and play later. And I didn't get that until I got older, and I realized, damn, he was right the whole time. Literally. William Andrew Wilkins was right the whole time. You can pay now and play later, or play now and pay later. I'm telling you all, pay now. It's never too late to have a better later. But pay now. Pay the price. Pay the price of that luxury you want. I told my cousin, don't enjoy this shit, that little $1,500 trip where you about to go there, try to knock off some hoes, you know what I'm saying, get drunk, whatever, and you done set yourself back from a better life a whole nother month and a half. If that opportunity is still available, let's be smart now. Let's be smart now. Come on, let's use our brains, because we only have one go around at this thing. And you get to travel all over the place, man. Go to different studios all over the fucking east coast and down south. You're gonna meet all kind of people. You can sleep anywhere you want. I mean, once you do your drop off, damn, man, you can stay in that town. Come visit me. Go visit other family members. I mean, that job opens up too many opportunities to be in different places, and you get paid to travel. So you get this touchdown. When you're a pilot, when you're a train conductor, when you're a long-range chauffeur, when you're doing these kind of transportation jobs, or you drive the bus, the tour bus, and you're able to maneuver all through the country, man, that opens up a whole lot of different doors and experiences for you. On top of the money being better at what you're doing now, man. Nah, cuz, he's like, I think I'm going to set it back. I'm like, nah, cuz, you got to take this. You're like, you know what? Like, I talked to you. You're right. I need to take this because I could be staying, you know what I'm saying, at the super posh hotel, having champagne instead of, staying at an all right motel and drinking Hennessy and Remy. You know what I'm saying? I could go and get me an expensive stripper I could pay for, that's a perfect 10 instead of, going to the Players Club where the hoes got cigarette burns, bullet holes, and stab wounds. So bet on yourself. Risk it all on yourself. Pay now and play later. And get it together. That's the thoughts of the day, man. Like, share, subscribe, please. Appreciate you.